Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I'm here planning for the week of March 9th through the 15th. This is in my B&R Paper Crafts Plan B planner. And for this week, I'm also using a kit from B&R Paper Crafts called Chic. It's this kind of like work from home vibe kit, but also a little bougie. It's a deluxe kit on matte vinyl. I've never used this one before, so it does have everything in it still. So this is full boxes, bottom washi and date covers, glittery boxes that I just thing. Anyway, functional full box checklists, some deco and functional things, glitter headers, little things, etc. And then washi strips and word headers. The to-do, not gonna lie, is really hard to read on there. But I think what I'm gonna do, this comes with only 9 full boxes. So I'm probably just gonna try to use up as much as I possibly can of said 9 full boxes and just see if we can use up most of this kit this time and just have a few leftovers left for use later. So that being said, I am gonna put down the headers as to do today little things. I think with the word headers, it works best to not scatter them. So I'm gonna put those down. I'm gonna put down the bottom washi and the date covers. And somewhere, one of these, this one has date dots on it. So I'm going to put that down. And then I will be back so we can do the interesting bits. All right, here's where we are at so far. I think it's looking cute. I scrunched up the headers a little bit so I have a little space along the top. We'll see how well I can use it. We could go like really old school and put like cut up deco. It's a little large, but you know, we'll figure something out. Maybe make that work. I did put the headers up high, so it's a balancing act on how much can fit. And because this bottom washi is pretty plain, I did add the weekend banner here. This might be another spot where I add a little bit of deco. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, I do want to put in the full boxes. So the double box, I am going to stick here on the weekend. I know that for sure. So we're just going to accept that it's not a symmetrical look, but that usually happens when you have a double box. And I just feel like they best go on the weekend. Definitely not a like hard and fast rule. I've been known to do other things, but I think this is what we're gonna go with today. So I'm just gonna fill that in right away. Try to get it to line up pretty well. Okay, that looks pretty cute. Let's see. I think, in my mind, these two go together, these two go together, and then the remaining 3 go together the least. I feel like this is a Thursday outfit. I don't know why. So we're just gonna put it on Thursday. Does anyone else feel like it's a Thursday outfit? Whatever that means. I think I'm gonna put these 2 little like vibing ones that seem like they kind of go together over here to kind of balance the scene from the double box. That looks pretty cute actually. And then I think we're gonna stick this one right here. Get our little Friday coffee. There we go. The planner's on Wednesday. I know Wednesday's not planner day, but I feel like it's still fine. I use my planners every day. I don't know about you guys. There we go. And then I think I'm gonna make this little brunch be my quote box. Honestly, I wish I got brunch that looked like this. That looks amazing. All right, we're gonna hold this and I think we'll make it work later at some point. Moving on to the sidebar, I do have some sidebar-y kind of boxes. Let's see. I might need this one too. I think that's it. All right. First up, we've got it this week. I think I'm going to scrunch everything together since I scrunched the headers up over here. There we go. And then I'm going to stick in a habit tracker. Do I want two? I mean, maybe. Why not? We've got them. Let's just put them in. There we go. 2 habit trackers. One is for socials, which this version of the kit doesn't really have like a socials thing, and none of the icons are super obviously socials. So I think what I'm going to use is one of the laptops. And then the other one I think is going to be for movement. Which again, we don't have like an exact icon for that. Kind of the shoes would work, but they're a little bit too big. So I think what I'm going to do is use one of the little kettlebells. There we go. It overlaps the Saturday and Sunday a bit, but obviously I know what day of the week it is in that spot. All right, next up, I'm going to stick a dinners header. I don't really need to track my dinners, but I enjoy it, so we're gonna keep doing that. Stick this guy in. There we go. And then I do have a good amount left. Can I fit this full box? I think I can just fit the full box. It like goes off the slightest hair where it's not straight, but that's pretty much fitting. So this page is done. Doing great. I think I'm going to stick up here a little bit of the deco maybe. Do I want like the clothes up there? I think we're going to stick like the purse and then maybe the shoes. I feel like that could kind of fit okay. There we go. Sorry I bumped you, by the way. All right, that looks pretty cute. Moving on to the weekdays. So Monday, we're gonna do a little sticker surgery. Somewhere I have, oh no, I'm knocking things off behind me. I need my scissors and I need my tweezers. I am going to stick in the garbage icon, which I have done a couple of times in the past with this kind of setup, but this only works if I do a little sticker surgery. So that's what I'm doing. So first I clip off the take, and then I clip very carefully around the O and the B in garbage. And then I'm gonna put all this stuff back on my shelf before I lose it. There we go. Oh, that was my undo or whatever. All right, and then you center more or less the out. And then you add the take to before it. And then you add the garbage. You let that overlap the garbage pan, and there you go. That looks super cute, I think. So that is now in there, and that's done. Monday, I also have work. Usually with these setups, I use one of these headers for work. So that's what I'm going to do there. Also on Monday, since we have an old school kit, it has a plan with me. So I'm going to stick that in. There we go. Otherwise, I don't really know what's going on Monday, so I'm just going to leave it there. Tuesday, I have work. Surprise, surprise. So that goes there. The other thing I have going on Tuesday is curling. So I think I'm gonna mark that. I feel like these two washies don't really, you can't really write over those two. The other two I feel like you can write over. So I'm gonna stick one of these down. Along with another one of the kettlebells. I realize that these are kettlebells and not curling rocks, but I think they're close enough to mark curling, like so. That's all I think I have that day. Wednesday, first up is work. Pretty much what we always fill in. There we go. I expect to have a movie night Wednesday night with friends. If so, I will use the little movie marquee, but I'm not totally sure, so I'm just gonna leave it blank for now. You never really know what's gonna happen. We reschedule quite often. All right, and then moving on to Thursday. Another little strip there. And then I have curling again on Thursday. So I'm gonna use this other wide strip. Like so. And then another kettlebell. The little inside part of the handle always gets stuck to my finger. All right, put that there. That's Thursday. And then Friday, I think the main thing I have is just work, which means I need whatever page has that on it. What color do I want? I could use one of these grays again. I could use the dark gray. I kind of like the light gray. It makes it feel more springy. It is another Friday the 13th, so that's fun. And then also on Friday, I do have, it's gonna be, I think my Aura Estelle setup. This guy's just so big. All right, I think we're gonna just make it work. Even though it's a little bit much for putting in a video, I think it's fine. Wednesday's just gonna be, or Friday's gonna just be so busy with work that I'm not even gonna have time to think about other things, to be honest. So I'm just gonna stick this in like so. There we go. It's a little taken over everything. What if, let me peel it up. Hopefully I'm not gonna regret this. I'm gonna actually cut this one out, like very close to the edge of the planner, rather than leaving like the nice big wide margins that these little deco stickers tend to have. I feel like it gives it a very nice clean look to have super wide margins, but it does definitely take up a lot of space. All right, there we go. Wide margins removed. This is now a little smaller. Okay, that looks pretty cute actually. That's all I got there. Saturday is pie day, but I don't really have any like thing in particular to go with that. And then Sunday, I also don't have anything super specific planned. It might be a maple weekend here in New York State. We'll see how that is. But I think this is where we're gonna stick with the pre-planning right now. So stick around for just a second and you can see the finished spread. All right, here's the finished spread. I think it turned out so cute. This week was kind of shit. To be honest, it was super busy. Katsu did have good test results, which was nice. I did get new glasses, also nice. Work was completely batshit crazy, and I spent a good chunk of my weekend working as well. But it is what it is. I do have a good amount of stuff left in the kit, but definitely not enough for another weekly spread. This page is done, so I'll just get rid of it. So I'll probably throw this into my leftovers to get used with some other bits and pieces that I have. But otherwise, I think the spread turned out cute. I did pull in a few extras. These little laptops are from Piper Paper Company, now Jessica Erin Designs. I don't think she's open right now, but I have them in my stash. And then this is one of the little guys from Sweet Ibis Paper that I used. But otherwise, it was just stuff from the kit. So I think that's all I have for today. As always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know how your week went down below. And then follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Creative Life of Liz. You'll see in progress and finished spreads, bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.